The 10 a.m. chainsaw tree massacre that happened in my backyard on a Saturday was uncalled for.
Went for a lovely hike in the first rain of the season. It was probably acid rain, but maybe it's good for my pores.
My dog chased a squirrel, knocked over a huge table, upset everybody. Downstairs neighbor came running out, so that was a fun apology.
I bet. Put my house keys somewhere for safekeeping, and then I forgot where I put them. Memory is a fickle fucker.
Isn't it, though? Have such a good day.
Everybody, we've missed you again.
We really have.
We just miss you all the time. It just the missing doesn't stop.
We keep saying that, but the fun part of it is that our show is actually doubling in size. So you're going to miss us a lot less.
I can't believe this is happening. It's pretty cool. I mean, we are switching gears here, and we are doubling the content. And we hope you're happy about it. If you're not, please let us know at hi@suchagoodday.com because we want to hear from you. We don't want you to be unhappy that we added a second show.
Can you imagine someone being like, sad. Love the show, but you know what? Double the content really doesn't work for me.
Can you ease up?
You know, Heather and I have been, we talked about hey, if we get enough patrons, we'll do 2 shows a week. We've been talking about that for a while. And we kind of got to the point where we were like, okay, well, based on metrics, we understand that a lot of people aren't patrons. So let's just do that on the flip side.
And maybe we'll get the patrons after.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the plan.
We're hoping that you appreciate the fact that we're doing this. So that's what we're going to do. We're going a little off the grid.
Well, if you're listening or watching for the first time, you have entered the Have Such a Good Day world. We are the show where 2 women unpack the absurdity, and whatever I just said of
it's
everyday life.
It's uncertain and absurd,
the uncertainty,
quite honestly.
And absurdity. So welcome.
Yes, we hope you're entertained. We hope this is a fun, safe place for everybody. And yeah, we're back. We are back, baby. And before we get into the rest of the show, we have a bonus topic that Heather's going to tell us about for the end of the show. What is our bonus topic this week?
This week, it's not a big shocker that I want to talk about the greatest movie rewatches or watching for the first time. It doesn't have to be a rewatch from the 70s. And the genre in particular is psychological horror because that was very popular in that decade. And it's one of my favorite genres. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a fun one.
Oh, isn't it though? This is so Heather.
I know. It's like my favorite thing to talk about. I don't know what's wrong with me.
There's nothing wrong with you. I mean, I don't know. It's a genre that lots of people like. Yeah, that's great. That's great. And just a reminder for everybody who is unfamiliar, if you are a patron of the $5 or up level, we have an extended show for you. And so that's what we're talking about today. So stay tuned, everybody. And
yeah, man.
In the meantime, so
how have you been, Sarah? What's been going on? I'm updated on most of it, but let's tell everybody what's happening in your world.
Yeah, it's funny. Just a few short episodes ago, it was all about how Heather was moving. It was kind of like, crazy thing, and you got to move to a different, area of town and moving. And I'm now moving. And
unbelievable.
Yeah, and I'm not moving to a different area of LA. I'm moving out of LA. I'm moving back to not far from where I grew up. Which is, I'm laughing about it because it's so weird to me still that this is happening, but it is, and there are a lot of reasons for it. I am moving on to a property that a friend of mine will be my landlord of. So that's, advantageous, obviously. It is very, very beautiful. It's less rent than I'm paying now. There are, all the checks, all the boxes are checked, right? And I am really excited. At the same time, it's a lot. I, laid awake last night for several hours thinking okay, how do I get Otis and Lucy up there? How do we do this? How do we do this? How do we do this? In 30 days from today, Sarah, how are you going to do this? I'll figure it out.
You will.
But it is, there's a lot going on.
Hey, and I know you have a lot of experience moving, but so does this guy. So if I can help in any way, you need to vent, or I can talk you off the ledge, give you some pointers, please let me know. You know where I live.
Absolutely. No, I do. I know that moving is, and I'm a constant mover as well. I move every couple of years. That's just, nomadic lifestyle. You're a renter, nothing's permanent. I yearn for the day where something is permanent, but it isn't.
I know.
So for now, I am really excited to move to the woods, and everybody's going to see my new setup once I get settled there.
So fun.
It is beautiful and just
Awesome.
like quiet and lovely, and redwood trees, and Otis the dog is gonna just have his best life, and
You're just
I'm
gonna
really
start
excited about it.
You're gonna start growing your armpit hair, and it's just gonna be a whole thing.
Not sure I'm gonna do that, Head, but I mean, there might be some things that I sort of let go, because that's kind of what you do when you get up to the woods.
That's true.
And I'll let you all know about that once it happens. But yeah, no, I'm really excited. I am overwhelmed, and everything TBD. I'll keep you all posted on how this all works out, because it's going to happen over the next 30 days.
Super happy for you. Super
Thank
happy
you.
for you.
Thank
and I'm
you.
going to visit soon, actually, because once my contract
Yeah, and you're going to lose your
ends-
shit. It's so nice. We're just going to have such a good
Is there
time.
a place for me up there?
Yeah, dude. I
Can we
mean,
build another house on the property?
there's quite a bit of space. And just we'll just go wine tasting, and
Can you imagine if the band is back together?
Smell some bay leaves.
Can you believe it? If in a year, we're back shooting in the same room together. I mean, how funny would that be?
It would be funny.
Keeps happening over and over. That's
Well,
so great.
so enough about me. Tell me about your week.
All right. Well, it's interesting. I'm finally kind of settled into this job. It's been, I guess, since July, so August. So let's say a couple months.
Yeah.
And I spent quite a bit of time in kind of a world that you experience every day, and that is being alone in your house, being a contractor.
Yeah.
Not really. Yeah, you have communication with one person here or there, but for the most part, you're kind of alone. And I gotta say, our team has grown a lot over the last month. I mean, we went from 5 people to probably 12 or 15 people over the last month. And they keep hiring these really cool and great people that I'm kind of just I know that it is affecting my happiness. I do. I know, I think I forgot over all that time last year when I was alone, how much I love team environment. And I'm a collaborator. I am a collaborator to the core. And I love it. And we have lunch every day, and we're friends, and they're cool, and I learn from them. And I don't know, it's crazy. I sort of forgot that this was a thing. And now I'm in it, and I'm oh wow, I'm so pleasantly surprised and so happy to be part of these people's lives, and that we're creating this thing. And the thing we're creating is really cutting edge and new for everybody. So we're kind of all in it together, and it feels really good. So the team bonding thing has really struck me the last couple months. So anyway, that's really it. We had a big outing.
I think that the idea of sort of being oh, I'm an introvert. A lot of us would say that. Sometimes we are, but there is something that you get from the energy from being with other people, whether you're working with them or hanging out with them on a Sunday for a barbecue or whatever. That is, you can't recreate that, and if you don't have it, unless you're actively trying to get away from it, it is really enriching.
It is. And even you and I talking now, you and I chat a lot on Slack, and we have a lot to talk about, but I don't see you as much as I did. And
Right.
now that we've been collaborating pre-show, it all comes together. It's kind of because we're kind of on our own, writing our own scripts and doing our own kind of work on this show. But then we kind of come together once a week and we talk, and it makes a big difference, because we're oh yeah, we're in this together. This is 2 people, and it's nice. Anyway, enough about that. So I heard a little birdie told me that you finally saw that movie Midsommar. Really want to know what you think.
Oh my gosh, Heather. Okay, so anybody who follows me on Twitter knows that I tweeted out in like absolute sort of like frustration, like I almost like blacked out in a way, like how much I hated this movie. That I've never hated a movie so much in my entire life, and how I couldn't understand how anybody would make such a movie and like be able to sleep at night. I was pissed.
My favorite part, though, of what you said was you ranted about how much you hated it, but then you said, but I think I might need to watch it again to just make sure that I really hated it. I thought that was the best part.
And like full disclosure, like I'm going to watch it once we're done with this tonight because I hated it so much. Like my sort of like I want to like vomit visceral reaction was so like, it's not that like I can't handle a horror movie. This wasn't really a horror movie, but it was a psychologically horror movie. Yeah,
thriller.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It wasn't that I can't handle that stuff. In fact, there have been many times where, you know, I have seen a movie that someone would be like, well, that was a downer. Yikes. Who would ever like that? And I'm like, I thought it was really good. So it's not that I don't like a movie that kind of, you know, screws with your head.
Sure.
I actually kind of like it.
I do too, yeah.
But this movie was fucked up.
To the core.
And, I mean, like, to the point where I'm like, I just don't know who makes a movie like this. Like, who made this movie? Like,
Ari Aster.
Screenplay person, let's chat.
This guy, too, it's funny. It's like, because his first movie, Hereditary, was really fucked up, too, but people liked it more. It was, like, overall, like, I think people walked away and were like, this is a better movie. But there's similar things in it. Like, he definitely has his own point of view. Like, he has a story to tell inside his brain that is kind of, he's sick. He's sick and twisted.
It's real sick and twisted. Like, I always say to people, you know, and we've talked about this on the show before. It's like, would my mom say, hey, should I watch this movie?
No.
There are movies where, you know, even like not like less fucked up movies where I'd be like, not for you, Mom. Just, you know, go on to the next. Mm-hmm. This is like, oh, no. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Do not watch this movie unless you want to be borderline suicidal. Not even kidding. Bad news bears.
It's true. But you know, the production design, I mean, there's elements of it that are really beautiful. And there's the overall effect and the tone. I think it's very unique. I don't know another movie. Yeah. There's a couple that maybe it like triggered my memories from it, but like the overall tone of it kind of has the pagan thing and the religion, you know, thing and the creepy, that there's a creepiness to that. But I like that. I love the tone of it. But I think
what's kind of funny is so for anybody who's like, what are you guys talking about? I mean, very overarching, no spoilers at all. Some Americans go to a Swedish commune in the dead of summer, which means that the sun doesn't set all that much, and that there's a lot of things transpire after the fact. What's funny is that is sort of like they kind of mention it like, oh, wow, you know, did it ever get dark kind of thing, but like that's not really like the main point of the movie. However, I have been in Northern Territories, Iceland once, St. Petersburg, Russia, also, you know, very, very high on the the longitude list. In the fact, in the dead of summer, where it's like, it's true, it kind of makes you crazy.
Yeah, totally.
Not that like you would like become a murderer and be crazy kind of thing, but like that was sort of, it was something that was part of the movie, but it was not really a main part of the movie. It was sort of
setting the tone.
Yeah, it was the fact that like nothing, the sun never set, like everything was super bright and there's flowers and the whole thing, but like, but it also was kind of crazy. And I'm like, Yeah, it is kind of crazy. You feel crazy.
You do. It makes. I think that's the whole point. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just, the colors, and man, they must have had truckloads of flowers for that production.
Seriously.
I can't help but think like, and the architecture was so weird. The architecture was very unsettling because it had these weird angles. The set was brilliant. I mean, I think it was really cool, but like, yeah, those buildings were very unsettling. Like, and I mean, that was obviously extremely planned.
Right.
But I think that's really cool though when you think about it. Like, he thought, let me make some buildings that have weird angles that, like, when someone walks into them, you think something is going to be happening in there, that's something really creepy. Anyway, I enjoyed it. I think it is worth a second watch.
You probably enjoyed it more than me.
I did.
But at the same time, like, I mean, I was mad. This is yesterday. Like, I was pissed. Like, anybody who would listen, I tweeted about it. I was like, this movie is fucked up. Who wants to fight me? And like several people were like, sorry, Sarah, you had a bad day. I'm like, no, more than that.
I love it.
But I think that I am gonna watch it again because it was so messed up that I'm like, let's just see if I hate it this much the next time around, because maybe I won't, or maybe I'll like see stuff I didn't see before, and like,
that actually reminds me. There's a podcast by these like Australian guys, or one is like Australian and one is New Zealand. I don't listen to it anymore, but they're super funny, and their whole thing is they rewatch like bad movies or like some good movies, but like, for example, like Sex and the City, the original movie is so bad. Or maybe it was the second movie, but like they would
the second
rewatch
movie is
it.
particularly bad.
Yeah, I think it was the second one is so bad. And so that what they would do is they hated it, but they would watch it 20 times. But like each watch, they would have a recorded
Get
episode.
a little something, yeah.
And be like,
Get
oh
a
my
little
God,
something out
this
of it.
time, this is what I got from it. And it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So I want to, this is sort of along similar lines of what we're just talking about. But yeah, it's sort of an interesting thing. Like, I mean, we know that this happens. Like, we've seen this happen with vinyl records, old technology coming full circle. Records kind of went out of style and now they're back and everyone wants to buy records again, and record players. Well, it's funny. So I have not had a Blu-ray player for years. I mean, I can't remember the last time I had one. I mean, I have a PlayStation, which is a Blu-ray player, but I never used it. And I'm total streamer. I find everything on streaming. I'm totally happy with that. I'm, cutting all the wires.
Right.
It's funny. So then I moved in with somebody who is a real cinephile. He works in the business. He works for a lot of companies who send him DVDs, lots of Criterion Collection, lots of classic good stuff. Yeah. And I always sort of made fun of him about it because I would be like, well, let's just watch it on Netflix.
Yeah,
we'll find
physical
it somewhere.
media.
Yeah, I was like, and then he would bring movies over to my house, and I'd be like, I would sort of poo-poo the whole thing. And now I feel like I'm wrong. I am dead wrong because. And I've been chatting with our Discord community about this because I have been recommending some of these old kind of 70s movies. And I know that our fans, these particular fans, would really love these particular movies, but you can't find them anywhere. They're not streaming anywhere. You can't even rent them on iTunes. You have to buy the Blu-ray or the DVD. And so I've come across this multiple times with at least 5 titles lately. And so I am embracing the Blu-ray again. And I'm hoping that I can somehow get these DVDs to our fans because I want them to watch these movies and be part of the conversation. But I just want to, I want to do a little shout out to the Blu-ray player and old media because there are reasons why you should keep it around.
Well, you know what? Kudos to you, Heather. I think that more and more, the technology that you're describing and the fact that this is like a higher quality than streaming is, those lines are becoming more and more blurred.
Yep.
You have many other reasons to just stream everything and it's going to be good. But that's, it's kind of cool to be able to embrace
is.
a certain kind of thing. Like you mentioned, vinyl. I mean, vinyl is like, oh my God, vinyl. Like some kids don't even know what vinyl is, but it has enjoyed a resurgence over the last 10 years. Like vinyl sales are higher than they were 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. Why is that? Okay, sort of DJs. Yes, that's part of it. But like also just the nostalgic factor of it.
I love it. And
you
also get the behind the scenes features, which are really cool. They're like, you got interviews with like the directors and the actors, and you have like you get to see behind the curtain. Anyway, I thought it was pretty cool. And you guys, if you have any comments on this, I would love to hear from you. hi@havesuchagaday.com. And don't forget, we have a website. It's really cute. It is havesuchagaday.com. And we'd love for you to come check that out. And I want to just shout out a couple new patrons. We just got a $5 pledge from Stuart.
Stuart!
And another $5 pledge by Linux Friend.
Linux Friend!
Woo, woo! And then I wanted to read a couple emails. In fact, one of them is from our new patron, Stuart. He says, Whew, welcome back. We missed you while you were gone. I have been putting off becoming a Patreon guy, but now that you're back, I want to help you to stick around. Thanks, Stuart.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean that's the whole idea. We really appreciate you.
In it.
In it. Yep.
In it.
In it.
All right, and next, do you want to read the next one?
Yeah, CPOS, hello Chris, we know CPOS. Chris says, I got an odd notification on my phone today about an episode of Have Such a Good Day being released. Am I dreaming? Somebody pinched me, lol. So glad to see that you're back, Sarah Lane and Heather Frank. My lunch crew has returned, woo-hoo.
You read that very well. That was a lot of exclamation points and a lot of question marks. There's probably at least 20 exclamation points in there.
Hey man, you're a ride or die. We love you so much, and thanks for sticking with us. And you now have Luna the dog. If anyone doesn't know,
I saw
Luna the dog is part of our. She's one of our new fans, and she's the cutest. So
Luna the dog, we love you.
Yeah. So thanks for being so great with us.
Yeah, and also Long Welsh is one of our sort of longtime VIPs. He really enjoyed our last episode, which was episode 53, and he's been really curious about my new job and was wondering when I would be able to finally talk about it. Sounds really cool and interesting, especially working with a new format. Plus the remote recording sounds and looks great. So thank you so much, Long Welsh. In fact, it's funny, I just throw in one little thing is that I got my own pair of spectacles. They gave them to me. They're currently not working, but I have been messing around with them myself. And in fact, Sarah, I have a proposition for you.
Okay.
I am going to, we're going to do a photo shoot. I was going to tell you this offline, but I'm going to do it on the air.
Okay.
You and me, we're doing a photo shoot before you leave, before
we're
you
in some
skip
specs.
town.
Yeah.
And we're going to do regular photos, but we're also going to do some of these 3D images for the show. And I'm really excited about it. I'll tell you more about it. Yeah. So we have to schedule at least one day on the weekend before you leave, but probably two, because I want to go to multiple locations. So we're going to have I want to get some really fun media for you guys. It's gonna be really fun, so stay tuned for that. But the rest of you, we're closing out here, but $5 balas, please stick around. The show is a little shorter, but just remember, we've got a second show we're gonna post this week.
That's right.
So
you actually win in the end.
Oh, you definitely win in the end. So stick around, $5 balas. We'll be back in a sec with our great movie watches from the 70s.
And for everybody else, thanks for watching and listening. See you next time. Until then, I will remain Sarah Heather.
Sarah Heather, is that what you said?
I called us Souther.
I like that. Souther or Hara. Hara is kind of fun.
Souther or Heather? I don't know. Let us know which one you like better. We'll just call ourselves that because we're one being anyway. Sentient.
This is true. Have such a good day, everybody. We'll see you next episode.
Bye-bye.
Bye.